Hey everybody, it's Nick from Learning Rocks, where we don't really know what we're doing, so we just wing it. We had a really cool experience the other day. We found a local gem and mineral society. We got to go down and check that out, and they had a really cool presentation that was put on from a guy named Josh from Ocklawaha Boy Rocks. And I had to write that down because I'm trying to say it. Tongue twister. I'm going to put a link here for you guys to be able to find him because he just knows everything there is to know about thunder eggs. So it was a really cool presentation. And like I said, I am not the man to try and tell you anything about thunder eggs other than Josh was good enough to hook us up with a few to test some things out on. And the downside is we don't have a saw yet. So we're going to try and cut a couple of these using the cool Dremel blades and grinders that we've got. So I've got this kit of grinding bits, which works pretty well, but none of them are really designed to cut a nice straight line across a rock. So we're going to kind of just pick out a couple of these and see what we come up with. Got some decent sized, really ugly on the outside, not gonna lie. But getting on the inside is where you start seeing the stuff. This is one that I was kind of impatient and started grinding on a little bit just to see if I could get anything. And as you can see, it's got some really cool stuff going on in there, almost like a cat's eye looking pattern. With some reds and yellows and grays and whatever else. And all I did is I just took one of these flat diamond bit grinders on my Dremel and ground that off flat. So it's not the way you're really supposed to do these. And I know that there's a lot of you out there that love thunder eggs and are just wanting to slap me for grinding this instead of cutting it in half and having two halves. But you know, what are you going to do? I need to get some equipment first, and then, maybe I'll do this right. But I do want to cut a couple of these. So I bought some diamond bit cutting blades that you attach to your Dremel. So they are about 2.5 inch diameter blades that you can mount right on there. And this is my Dremel setup. I just got it on the extension cable with my actual Dremel hanging above me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of these smaller guys. Got a few different ones to play with here that are small enough that I won't feel too bad grinding into them. All right, I'm going to start with this guy. We're going to start with a smaller diamond bit. So this thing looks like I got it sitting at 1,500 RPMs, which is fairly low, about the mid-range of what this thing will do. I think I'm just gonna cut this thing straight across here. I might wanna put my sunglasses, my safety glasses on. Now we're cool and safe. If any of you are worried about how close my fingers get into the blade, these diamond bit blades, they don't really do anything to you. Got your finger all over. I hit my fingers all day. It doesn't really do anything. Woo! I think this is about as deep as we're gonna get with these blades, or grinding discs, I guess. And I've probably destroyed all the good stuff that was in there. And we are back with some exciting news. Some of my cutting blades came in, probably a good 2.5 inch diameter or so. Let's see. Boom, on the money, just about 2.5 inches according to my little wet mat ruler here. So I'm going to set the speed on the Dremel to 1,500 RPMs. Wow. So we're gonna set the RPMs to 1,000. Okay, that's probably a little bit more like what you want for cutting some rocks here. I mean, I guess we could try turning it up a little higher and see what happens. Why not? Let's do it. Let's try 1250. Oh, that's way faster. Just that extra 250 RPMs, noticeably quicker. Well, we were able to cut off a slice. Pretty cool. And then our other half. Let's see, I got this guy that we didn't make it all the way through. Looks like 1250's nice, good speed for that. I think that's more of a geode. Cute little baby geode. And then this one, I wanted to cut this front little face off here, even though these little bubbles are pretty cool. I really want to be able to open that up to see that window so you can see the big crystal inside there. So I'm going to try and just basically take this off straight through here. Oh boy, when it goes wrong fast. Downside to 1250. That will rock it right out of your hand. So I'm going to back this one back down again to the 1000. Something a little more user-friendly, because even though it is super fast at 1250, it is extremely hard to control. That is a cool little geode looking thunder egg. Just for fun, let's just cut this one right open. I'm gonna turn this thing up a little bit more again, back up to the 1250 range since I'm not doing any detail work. Oh boy, big reveal here. Get it in and focused. Not as exciting as I hoped. Got some little boogery looking things in there and some little brain developing on this side. Let's give this thing a challenge, shall we? I say we do a big one. And before I start, I just want to show you what I came up with last night. Last night we went to our local Gem and Mineral Society and used their equipment, a lot of it for the first time for us. And I cut one of these thunder eggs on the trim saw and then cleaned it up on their cabbing machine. And this is what I came up with. Got a little water on it, but just awesome. I could not have been happier with the results of that. Here's the other half. You can see the one side is completely white, the other side is completely clear. So just crazy how that turned out. If I had cut it this way, I'd be having an egg that had a half and half thing going, it looks like. But yeah, can't wait to have my own saw and cabbing machine someday, because so much easier than using the Dremel. But the Dremel works, so you got to use what you got and make it happen. So I'm thinking for this experiment, I think we'll cut this guy. I hate to ruin a perfectly good thunder egg, but I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for. It looks like I've got kind of a seam right here, and I'm thinking you probably want to cut across that seam to get any detail. So I think I'm just going to take it straight down this lengthwise line and see what we get. Why not? If any of you are unhappy with my choices, you can start your own channel and cut eggs. But I'd prefer that you just subscribe and keep watching me screw stuff up, because it's fun. This is the biggest one I've done with the Dremel. It was a bit of a challenge. Are we focused? All right. Ah, okay. That's actually pretty cool. Got like a little double bubble. So the left side has got, you know, a really white layer in it. And what Josh was saying is that when you see that, you know, it was laying like this. So that's how the rock was positioned in the ground, was like this. So as the minerals were filling in and stacking, they were just basically making that layer right there. So I don't know if you can really see. It's just like a little angle of something. And got really weird little green hair in there. Almost looks like moss. It's really cool. That kind of red crystals going on up at the top. I'm not mad at that. So survey says, are these little cutty blades worth it? I'd say hell yeah. It was, that made some nice work of it. The blade's still in good shape. I've just put it through what, four or so rocks. Still looks good. So I'm sure it'll rust super quick, but for now, it's good to go. Thanks for watching. I got no fancy outro. So, you know, we'll see you next time.